Okay, so I'm going to make a video of how to tie on a snare. There is no fresh snow, there's no fresh rabbit tracks, so it was hard to find a trail as to where they were. One of the spots where we caught one rabbit when there was a lot of tracks and stuff was right here. So we have a snare still set up there. It's a little bit high, but we're going to get some snow overnight, which will bring it to the right height. There's lots of cover here. I've walled off along this big branch. It's tied off on a really sturdy branch there, so the rabbit won't be going anywhere. So another place that we found that would be good, it's really close to here, and Heather found it. Come down in here underneath this cover. You might not be able to see it in the video, but so there's some rabbit turd there. There's some more here. And it just keeps going and going. So they're definitely running through here over and over again. So we're going to snare off of this branch. We're going to attach the snare to approximately here, maybe right there where it's really strong, right up there. You don't want it to come off. And then we're going to wall off this area down to here. You don't really need to wall off over there because it's already kind of walled down. And then we should be done. So I'll get the snare stuff ready and then I'll shoot another clip. Okay, so this is how I make my snares. I do the whole thing with wire so that I'm able to position the snare. I usually like to make them long enough and then just wrap the excess around a branch. Just cut it. Take the pliers. Grab the end. Just kind of bend it down. And then basically you grab it, the pliers, and then just twist it with your fingers. Let's get that little bend up. You just need to make it a tight joint so that it won't come undone. There's pressure applied. Then loop your end of your wire through that. That's pretty much all there is to it. You can make them pretty quick. You can do this at home before you go out, especially if it's really cold. It's really warm today, so it's no problem. But do it at home. You can take the wire, you can kind of wrap it around and kind of wrap it in and out of itself. So you go around and around, and then just do a few loops in and out to keep it from getting tangled. And then you just lay them flat in like a book or a binder, and that'll keep them from getting tangled up in transport. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to tie the snare on now. So don't really have to worry about what the end's doing too much as long as you know you have enough length. So basically just bring it up and around. And you don't really need to tie it around the branch multiple times. You just need to wrap it around the wire itself. And you need to do this enough times that when it's pulled on, like if you did it now, it would almost come undone. You don't want a coyote or something to be able to get a easy meal dragging your rabbit off. still has some excess there. I can just, I'll just tuck it away like that. And that's not coming off, nothing's pulling that off. Now what you can do is you can play with the branch here. Use it to help position your height. So the rabbits we have around here, we have snowshoe hares, and they're not super big. So what you need to do is, like, the wire, you want it so that if it gets hit and a rabbit doesn't go into it, you want it to go back into place. So what I do is I don't sit here and keep moving this. I hold it still up at the top, and then I just deform the metal, and then I let go and I check it. And the wind might blow it, so you want it to go back to the exact place that you want. So that's pretty good there. So when the rabbit gets caught in this, he's going to pull and run, choke himself out. Then just take sticks, they don't have to be big or anything, and stick them into the ground, or if the ground's frozen, it's kind of frozen right now, just set them up just like that. Put a little bit of lean on them so that they don't fall over in the wind. You don't want them to block the snare. You can clear any sticks out of the bottom to facilitate the rabbit going through that specific area. So yeah, the rabbits here we have are small, so the snare should actually be a little bit smaller than your fist. And when he gets his face through, he'll just keep pushing. He'll push his ears right through. They bend back really easily, and then he won't be able to pull his ears out. He'll be stuck. If you make it too big, they'll go right through the trap, or they'll get snared around the waist. Be sure you always bring a knife with you in case you ever get a rabbit that maybe put his front foot in and closed and didn't get his foot out, and you have to dispatch the rabbit. And so yeah, then you just wall off the rest of the areas, make the trail a little bit more appealing for them, and check them every day. You should get some rabbits. Okay, so the final height of the snare is a little bit higher than the width of my hand, which is a little bit high, but we're going to get a few centimeters of snow overnight, so I'm going to start off a little bit high so that there's less chance to snare his foot. And each day when you come out, you can just fix the height a little bit more. I put a piece of flagging tape in the tree, and this is my 15th snare that's out here, so I know how many I have to look for. Once you've checked them a few days, it's pretty easy to remember where they all are. We have the area walled off. We've gone quite a ways up to the right here, just so that any rabbits coming up this way will be diverted towards where the snare is. And we've even walled off between this snare and the other snare to catch any rabbits coming down over this hill. So it doesn't have to be a very high wall. We have another wall in a different location, and sometimes the rabbits come up to the wall and they just go parallel to it and they don't go through your traps. And then other times they go through the few openings that you have and get snared. So out of the 15 rabbits we've caught the majority on our walled off area. So I think these are the way to go, especially when you don't have really thick areas and you don't keep snow well. It's hard to find the tracks, and it's hard to, if it's really open, the rabbits have the option of 20 different paths through an area. I think the only way to really get them in is to wall off the area as best as possible. And
yeah, so hopefully we've got less than a week left of snaring rabbit season. So we'll see if we get one from the new trap or not. And if not, we've got plenty of rabbits already, so it won't matter too much.